Hey everyone, my name is Megan Ballingy and I'm one of the librarians here at Alpec Library. I'm the Family and Consumer Sciences subject librarian, so you may see me teaching some classes about how to use resources, how to find articles for your projects or research papers, and I'm also the undergraduate instruction and outreach librarian. So if you've had an English 1310 or 1320 class, you may have seen me, or if you haven't had those classes yet, you may still see me. Today I'm going to be going over some resources for your first project, I believe. It's the Influential Pioneers paper, and that's a group project, as I understand. So I will be showing you a bunch of different resources. So let's get started. So I'm sharing my screen here. I'm going to go back and forth between showing you some resources on the website and looking at my guide. So you'll see me kind of moving my head back and forth. I'm just going to follow some of my notes here, make sure I get everything in the video for you. And I'm also going to show you how you can contact me if you need more help. Starting off on the library homepage, a few things. Right now, during this time period of the pandemic, we have some different operating hours. That is right here at the top of the page. So that is where all of our updates will be. The library is open through the summer. If you wanted to come in the library, you're welcome to. We have materials you can check out, like reserves, books, etc. But we're also going to be on our chat. So if you have questions, you can ask through our chat and access anything you need to virtually as well. As long as you have internet access and some of the areas of the library website, you may have to log in with your net ID. So if you're off campus or using a laptop somewhere from a distance, it will prompt you to log in at certain points. Since I am in my office in the library right now recording this, you probably won't see any of those pop-ups. But just know that if that happens, it may say something like electronic resources sign in. It's just your net ID and password. A few things on the homepage. So we do have our links for our hours. In the middle of the page, you'll see Start Your Research. We're going to focus on that a little bit later. I'll show you how you can search using some keywords. And in this case, since we're searching for information about influential pioneers, we're going to, I'll show you an example search for someone, a person. And we're going to look at the databases as well. You can see there's a few different places on the website where you can click to start chatting with us if you want help right away. And you can see this right on the right-hand side, this widget. If you click that, you can start chatting with us immediately. And we also have ways to navigate through the library website. In the upper left-hand corner, there's a menu, and there's the search. The menu, you can navigate if you just wanted to click search and go from there. You can do that as well. And all of the pages, the Texas State pages, there's a library link at the top. Just click that and you come to this home page. The first thing that I do want to show you is a guide, a research guide that I have for your class. And the easiest way to find this is to search. You can also go here underneath the Start Your Research area and click Guides. I'll show you how to just get to this real quick. So go to the upper left-hand corner, click Search, and just put in the title, the course title, and your number. So this is FCS 1310. In the results list, it's the first one. Just go ahead and click on the link, and this is what you'll see. This is like a website within a website. We've got different tabs. This goes into more in-depth troubleshooting for searching, finding articles, books, background information, depending on your research. There's also on the citations page that you'll find some links for the various citation styles. The most popular ones that you'll end up using when you're doing research and writing your papers. And here are some links. Of course, for this project, you will be writing with APA formatting. And here are some helpful places to look if you're trying to figure out how to cite something. You may have an APA style handbook. Another resource that many students use and know about, but if you don't, is the Purdue OWL website. I'm going to go ahead and click on that. And this has resources for various different citation formats. The Purdue OWL Writing Lab, it's an awesome resource. You can go to APA Guide and then look at like overview, how to format, and they have examples too, which is very, very helpful. On the home page of the guide, there are some links where you can contact me. You're welcome to email me if you have questions. Sometimes I'll just email back and forth with students to do some troubleshooting if you're looking for a certain topic and trying to find articles. I can help you with that. You can also click this link to schedule a consultation. And a consultation is just a fancy way of saying that you can meet with me online through chat, through video conferencing, Zoom. Also, we can email if you need more help with your group or any individual research assignment that you have. And I find that students really appreciate a little more individualized help, especially if you kind of get stuck in the middle of your research assignment, which happens to everyone, by the way. Okay, so on this homepage, I have a few things that I'm going to go over today. In this middle of the page are the links to two specific databases that I'm going to show you. Biography and the American National Biography, where you should be able to find your person that you pick for the Pioneers Project. I'm also going to show you how to start your research. In case you select someone that there isn't a lot of information in these biography databases, you'll still be able to find articles about them. And I'm looking at your assignment. You need to have 3 sources for your paper or your project. So these 2 and the Start Your Research will be very helpful in finding those. Okay, so from this area on the site in the guides, we can click on Biography in Context or American National Biography, but I do want to show you how you get to those databases in general. So I'm going to go back to the home page and explain the databases page. The research databases page is set up so that you can search for the name of an individual database. You can also browse databases by subject. And on the right-hand side, you can also browse databases by type. So by subject, there are actually a few different areas where you'll find family and consumer sciences databases. In addition to this link that says family and consumer sciences. So I'm going to click on that and let's take a look. And also, since it's early in the morning, I'll be drinking a little coffee during our session. One thing that I find, I know it's difficult doing all your classes online and kind of adjusting to focusing online, getting all your work done. One thing that has helped me, and I did my master's completely online, was to kind of have kind of a structure for when I would sit down and get to work. And one of those things was making myself a cup of coffee and kind of getting into that mindset of sitting down. It's kind of a ritual, like making my coffee, I'm going to sit down, work on this for a while, to drink my coffee, get a little break. Some of those things can help kind of make this a little bit easier. So if you don't have one of those kind of structured things set up for you, you might want to try it. May be really helpful. Okay, we're on the Family and Consumer Sciences page. This is just a list of all of the databases that contain information or research that cover those subjects. So you'll see lots and lots, various ones depending on your majors. And I know in this class, you are all from different majors within FCS. These are listed alphabetically. This is the title. For example, number 25 is Food Science Source. And it will tell you what is contained in that database. This database focuses on journals, so articles, books, magazines, trade publications on the food industry. Most of the databases also will show you what time periods they cover. So this one, Hospitality and Tourism, it's from 1938 to present. If you haven't already taken a look at the Family and Consumer Science page within the research databases, I encourage you to do that. You may not need it for this class, but in the future with your major classes, you might remember seeing a database there that may be helpful for your research. Okay, I mentioned also that you can browse databases by type. So we were looking by subject before. By type means you can search by the type of information contained. So there are, for example, image databases, streaming databases, ones that just cover news, and then we have this drop down that has lots and lots more. So that's an area also to explore. What I'm going to do, because I know the name of the database that we want to go to first, I'm going to go ahead and type it in. We're going to go to Biography, Gale in Context. When I search Biography, there are a few different ones. The one that I want you to go to is Biography, Gale in Context. It's number 2. So this is an area where if you are off campus, it may prompt you to log in at this point. On this page, this is just a preview of the database. So it gives the name and then the description, biographical information on more than 500,000 people throughout history, around the world, and across all disciplines. So keep this in mind for other classes that you might have that are not FCS specific, but is still available for you to use to find resources. And it's when you're first getting started, it's totally fine to Google and search in Wikipedia, get some background information, kind of learn a little bit more. You just don't want to use those sources to cite in your projects, in your papers. So take some notes and then go to the library databases and find your scholarly articles and information there. A few different things that I want you to know about Gale in context, this biography database that contains a lot of information. You can search in this box, do an advanced search, and I'm going to point out a few things over here a little bit later. On the right-hand side, where we can keep, when you're searching, you can do some highlights, and the database will keep track of those, and then you can download them at the end, which is super helpful. Also, if you just scroll through the home page of this database, you'll see people of interest, various people that they are focusing on, browse people, and they have this organized by kind of topic. So actors, aviators, African Americans, artists, and they also will tell you if these are new entries. Okay, so the example that I'm going to use today is, actually I'm going to start with the last name. Let's see what happens. Okay. You can start either with the first name or last name. What will happen is the database will start to populate what it thinks you're searching for. And I am going to search for Ellen Richards. Ellen Henrietta Swallow Richards is her full name. You may see multiple entries of that person's name depending on how they were referred to when people were writing about them. If I click on that, I may see one or more entries. And usually on this page, if it is a name that there are multiple entries, it is going to point to one specific entry. It will figure out that Ellen H. Richards means Ellen Henrietta Swallow Richards. It's just a way of organizing so that we make sure we find the person by their name and find the matching information about them. Because a lot of people have the same names, and this is a way that they organize that information. Clicking on the search result, and from this page, you'll see a few different things. At the top, showing results for all content types. There are biographies, images, news, and magazine entries. You can filter your results. This does not have that many entries, so I'm fine with just navigating from here. But for maybe for more popular people that are a little more closer to the modern times or more from maybe the last 10 or 20 years, you might have a lot more entries. So you may want to filter your results. And you can filter by publication dates. You can search within the results. So there's a few different ways. So if you get like 100 results back, you can maybe search the last 5 years or search within them for a certain type of information. Just scrolling, I see biographies, and we're going to click on some of these in just a second. Then I see an image of Ellen Richards. And I may have forgotten to say, Dr. Duke has probably explained, Ellen Swallow Richards was one of the leading pioneers in home economics, which is the basis for FCS subject areas. So that's why we're taking a look at her as our example. there are news articles and magazines. So let's look at a few of these entries. And the entries have the name of the entry, so this is just the person, and then it tells you where this is from. So this first entry is from the Dictionary of American Biography. The second one is from Merriam-Webster's Biographical Dictionary. So you'll see that this database is pulling from a bunch of different reference sources. Clicking on the first one, and this is where I'm going to do a little bit of highlighting. On this page, there are some things that you can do to make this a little easier to read, or if you want, you can listen to it being read. Right here, you can change the font size. Click listen. You can also translate to other languages. And I should note that there's a few different places on this page where you can download this information as like a PDF, or you can send it to your email, and those links are in the upper right corner. Also, you'll see this little cite quotations button. If I click that, the citation format generator will give you the citation if you wanted to cite this in your papers. Keep in mind, this will show the most popular citation styles, so you'll have to click on APA, and you can copy and paste this into your reference area or cited of your paper. With any citation generators, you want to double check that against like the Purdue OWL website or your citation style guide. Sometimes there are little errors in these because this is a software program, and also sometimes when you copy and paste, it just doesn't keep the formatting, so double check those. At the top, we have just some general information about this person, and then lots of more information, their whole biography. I can download this whole page, this whole entry if I want, and I can also highlight and keep the information for later. So I'm going to show you how we can use the highlighting feature. I did a little highlight on the first sentence and click highlight. I can choose the highlighting color, and then I can add more notes, and if I wanted to click notes and write like, oh, this part I want to put in this section of the paper, if I wanted to. You don't have to do that. And then let's take a look. Maybe this is important for the paper, so I'm going to save that. Okay. Now I'm going to go back, and let's look at the second entry. And this has not a lot of information, just some overview, but let's take a few of her publications. So I'm going to highlight those in yellow, just a different color. Let's look at another one. And this has further readings. Let's say, oh, we'll just skip this one. I'm going to go back and actually, I'm going to click on biography so I can get a little more information. So this one, okay, so here's information about her career at MIT. And use the green. Okay, so if you have highlighted a bunch of different resources, here's what you can do. In the upper right-hand corner, it says Highlights and Notes. Go ahead and click that, and then View. Now this is showing me what I have highlighted on all of those entries. And let's see, if I click download right here, I can download those as a PDF. And what is really cool, it's kind of a little bit hard to see, at the bottom, it gives you a listing. These are the citations for each of these entries. You can also click this to make this all APA. You can look at what you highlighted, and then also it tells you the source. So this is a really easy way that you can quickly go into this database, grab the information that you're looking for, and then download it and keep it. Okay, so that is Gale in Context Biography. Let me show you the next database. I'm going to go back to the home page, back to the databases, and we'll go over this one a little more quickly. This one's American National Biography. American National Biography obviously focuses on America. We've got 1450 to present. Let's go ahead and take a look. This database is going to look a little bit different than the other database, but most of the time, all these different databases have the same features. They just have a little bit of different layout. I can search at the top or use the advanced search. I'm going to search instead of searching last name, first name. Let's just try her name there. Okay, and I see I have one result. If you have a lot more results, on the left-hand side, you can filter through. Clicking on the title, and here is all the information about her. So looking at various sources, you may find different information. One might be a little more complete versus another one. Or it may focus on, like this one might focus on her publications versus her time at MIT. And this has the same sort of features. Also, we just have some different icons. In the upper right hand area, you see there's a PDF. You can save, you can email this to yourself, so you have the same tools. Okay, so that is American National Biography. Going back to the home page, I'm also going to show you how you can search through Start Your Research. And Start Your Research you can use for so many different subjects and so many different research papers. I teach beginning writing composition and composition 2 library instruction sessions that focus on how to use Start Your Research to search for information. Searching for a person is a little bit easier. Right here in the search box, what I would do is start with a quotation and end with a quotation. What that is going to tell the database is I want all of those words, so that's person's name, to stay together. So I get articles and search results that include Ellen, Swallow, Richards, all parts of the name. If you have Googled something before or have searched in the databases and you are looking for a person and you don't use those quotations, sometimes you'll get articles that have somebody's name that are some search results that just have Ellen or Richards. So this is a way that we can keep that together. Okay, so this is our search result page. A few things about this page. We have an advanced search that you can click on if you want. For this project, I think it'll be pretty straightforward, just searching the person's name in quotations. And also if they have multiple names or like a maiden name, you may want to search a few different times. And even Ellen Swallow Richards, Henrietta was in part of her name also, so I could search that as well. So we have over 300 results. If I scroll just a little bit, on the left-hand side, I can choose to filter through some of these results. So over 300 is a little bit much to take a look through. I can choose whether I want to see articles about this person, or if I want to see books or book chapters. And the way that I can filter through is to go to the left-hand side. And if I click on Library Catalog, the library catalog is, you can think of it as mostly books or ebooks. So if I click on that, I'm going to see just books coming in my results. I can leave it like this, and the way that I can tell is there's symbols, or this first entry, it says it's an ebook. This one says it's an academic journal article. The search result list will tell you what it is. So you can filter through if you'd like. I think I am going to click full text, and then I'm also going to click academic journals right here. This will tell the database that I just want articles, and I want them to be full text. Depending on who your influential pioneer is, you may want to change the publication dates. Some of these articles may have been written very recently about Ellen Swallow Richards, which may be fine depending on what kind of sources you want to use. Some of these may be written more toward her lifetime, maybe even when she was alive. So I can choose a publication date depending on the resource time period that I want to see. Scrolling down, you may also want to look at the language or the geography. These are always going to be different depending on your subject or your topic that you're searching. Okay, so let's take a look at one of these. Let's look at this one, Ellen Swallow Richards, Building FCS on the Foundations of Chemistry. What I see just looking at this is the title. This Journal of Failing Consumer Sciences is where this individual article is published with other articles that are scholarly on these topics. I can access this just by clicking on the PDF full text if I want to, or I can click on the title and then I'm going to see more information, which can be really helpful. If I click on that, I get to this page, which now shows me a bunch of things that are really useful. One, I've got tools on the right-hand side. Two, on the upper left-hand corner, I have some links to the PDF full text. And then in the center, more information about the article. The source, again, that's where this was published. The subjects, we're focusing on Ellen Richards. The abstract is the summary of the article. So I can quickly skim through that and see if this is going to be what I want to take a look at. So if I want to read the PDF, I click on that. And from this page, I can download this or save it, email it to myself. Those links are on the right-hand side. You'll also see a citation format generator. Click on that. And it pops up at the top, and then you just have to scroll to APA again. Double check these. You can also email this to yourself. My suggestion would be If you're saving it to like your Google Drive or your file space, just make sure as you're saving it that it's going wherever you're sending it. There's also a permalink generator. Now, my suggestion is to just save things as you go along. But if you're running like really short on time and you need to just grab a link, click the permalink, and it's going to pop up here in the center of the page above the title. You click shorten link, and it's going to turn it into a bit.ly. Okay, this is super important. It may seem like an extra step, but this permalink, whether you use the long one or this bit.ly, this will always take you back to this page. It's going to be a permanent link that's a stable link. Versus if you take the URL and copy and paste that. That's not going to be always there. Like after a little while, it may disappear and you'll just have an error page and then there's no way to get back to this. So if you are saving the links, always save the permalink. So going back to the search results, it looks like there are quite a few articles about Ellen Swallow Richards. Hopefully the influential leader and pioneer that you select, you'll have a lot of search results so that you can go ahead and pick the ones that you want to use in your paper, your project. But if you end up searching and you get a little stuck, always remember that you can contact me and I'd be happy to help do some troubleshooting and figure out how we can get those resources that you need for your project. So I hope you have a good day and good luck on your project.